In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up exactly the perfect Facebook advertising campaign structure in order to virtually guarantee a 2 times minimum return on advertising spend, in order to make sure you're not spending the majority of your budget testing and not getting any real results, and allow you to manage tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in advertising spend in just a few minutes every single day. To be clear, what I'm about to show you is not something I learned spending somebody else's money as an advertising agency. No, this is exactly what I've learned after spending $5 million of my own money in order to create profitable Facebook ads. This is the Facebook advertising hierarchy. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into the black ones here because if you're watching this, I'm going to already assume that you know what your business suite is, your ads manager, and your ad account. But just as a quick recollection, your business suite is essentially where you manage your entire business account. Your ads manager is inside your business suite, and this is where all your ad accounts live. And then your ad account itself is where you actually manage your ads, right? So we're gonna be talking specifically inside this video of what's inside the ad account, more specifically your campaigns, your ad sets, your ads, how we structure, who we target, how we scale, etc., etc. Now, the first and absolutely most important aspect of managing ads on Facebook is your naming conventions. This may seem silly to a lot of people, but I can't tell you how many clients that we've gone inside of their advertising campaigns and have had to spend hours, if not days, trying to organize or sort or find what they had done previously, what campaigns were actually profitable, which ones were losers, before we set up new ones for them to be able to scale with us. In reality, all advertising is the use of numbers and data, and we use the numbers and data of our previous campaigns in order to build on them to make more profitable and more scalable campaigns. But more often than not, most people don't even know what they've done previously because they just throw up a campaign, name it whatever, throw up an ad set, name it whatever, throw up an ad and name it whatever, and they have no real way of organizing their way through here or having somebody else from the outside come in and organize their way through it either. So the first thing we want to focus on is building a naming convention that's universal and absolutely used inside your ad account. I don't care if you're the only person that's in there. This is incredibly important in case somebody else that you hire later on the road is going to get in there, maybe someone from our team is going to help you out in there, or even just you trying to figure out what you're trying to do when you have 10, 20, 30, 50 ad sets and ads inside of there. So the naming conventions that we love inside of our company and that we use for our clients is at the very top, you have SWS, and then this is called a little pipe right here, and we enter the type of campaign after that. So for example, we would say SWS, and then we would say DM campaign for direct messaging campaign. Okay. Now we add the SWS beforehand because, like I said, most of the time when we work with our clients and help them scale their businesses, they already have 400 campaigns and ads in there. So we like to add the SWS in order for us to better be able to identify our campaigns easily when we're helping them manage it. But you don't have to add the SWS, but it's important to know which type of campaign you're running, because sometimes you're going to be running a direct messaging campaign, sometimes you're running a conversion campaign, sometimes you're going to be running a website lead form campaign. So all of these are going to vary. And of course, all of your results down the road are going to vary as well. The second type of naming convention you need is at the ad set level. So we'll use SWS once again, type of campaign, so we can see which type of campaign this is. Then we go into the audience, so who we're actually targeting, and then the ad creative, which ad creative is inside this. So if I were to rewrite this one using the example we have above, I would say this is a DM campaign. Then I would say that this is going to be the email lookalike, because it's an email list lookalike audience, 1%. And then I would say it's the ad creative of Ravi office, right? Me in my office shooting an ad. So what the benefit of this in the ad set level is that me personally, I manage our hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in ad spend through just the ad set level. So I'm not going in campaigns and ads and clicking everything through. I'm able to manage 6 figures, 7 figures a year in advertising spend on just the ad set level in 5 minutes a day, right? And then the final naming convention you need is on the ad side itself. So this is going to be when you're looking at just the ads, and it's the exact same thing as what you see in the ad set level. So nothing changes. Of course, the only thing that would change is if your ad creative was different. But in this example, I can just take this exact same copy and paste. I'll put it right here. Paste, perfect. So now if I'm looking at the ad level or the ad set level, I know which one of these are the most successful. Let's talk about the actual structure. What is the hierarchy of this? So inside an ad account, inside an ads manager, you have 3 main variables. First one's going to be the ad campaign, and this is where you select your conversion type. So direct messaging campaign, instant form campaign, conversion campaign, reach campaign, engagement campaign. Then you have your ad set, and this is going to be where you actually choose your targeting, your placement, your budget, those kinds of things. And then you have the actual ad itself, and this is typically what the end user, your target market, hopefully sees. That's the actual creative, the visual, the page you run it on, etc., etc. Now, what I see most people doing when it comes to our hierarchy is they have a campaign, and then they'll have like one ad set, and then they'll have 5, 10, 15, 20 ads inside of that ad set. And I'm not going to say that there is a right or wrong way to run any of these ads, as I'm sure there's people out there that are way smarter than me that do this exact same thing. But I can tell you, after spending millions of dollars myself, that's not how I like to run the campaigns. And I'm sure many people are watching this are going, oh, my Facebook ad rep showed me and told me how to do this. I am not going to insult a Facebook advertising rep, but I am saying that I have literally never heard anything valuable from a Facebook advertising rep before. Never. And neither has anybody that I've worked with either. So what I know is what I have tested from my own money and what I do managing millions of dollars a year. And what I have learned is that too many different ads inside an ad set, then what happens is Facebook will very quickly identify what they think, keyword being think, is the best ad, and then they will put all of the advertising budget to that. So for example, if I had a campaign for direct messaging, right? And then I had an ad set, which was an email list lookalike audience of, which is pretty much 1 million people that look exactly like the people on my email list. And then I had 2 ads inside of here, a done for you ad and a guarantee ad. And the difference is one, I'm saying, hey, we'll do this for you. And the other one, I'm saying something similar, except for I throw in the word that we have a guarantee. Well, if I put them both inside the same one, within, let's say, 1 or 2 days, Facebook's going to find who they think is the winner out of those 2 ads, and it's going to allocate anywhere from 90 to 99% of the budget to that ad. But let's say I'm running $100 a day in advertising budget. After 1 day, Facebook thinks it's found the winner, and now it's spending $95 a day on the done for you one, which it thinks is the winner, and $5 a day on the guarantee one. Well, there's no way that the guarantee one has had enough money for you to be able to test it, especially if your typical KPIs, key performance indicators, have a $10 lead and a $150 booked call and a $1,000 cost per acquisition. Then there's no way you can know in a short enough time frame if the guarantee one would have worked or would have not worked. And on top of all of that, that's not even taking into account the fact that Facebook ads are grossly misattributing your events, meaning that I see ads, I'd say 90% of the time, are inaccurate based on the actual numbers. So Facebook says that this ad is getting me 5 leads, when in reality, this ad has gotten me 100 leads. I see it all of the time, right? And we use separate tracking software that we set up for our clients, so we know exactly which ad and which ad set is bringing back the most profit. As a side note, we've had our clients turn their campaigns from a 1 times return on investment to a 7 times return on investment just by setting up the software, doing nothing else but actually being able to identify where the profitable campaigns are. But most of the time, 90+% of the time, Facebook is misattributing these leads, these booked calls, and all of your events. So if we're going here and we're saying that it's misattributing the events, then how can Facebook know which one of these is actually the most profitable, is actually bringing you the best leads in the book calls? Because I just told you a second ago that the majority of the time the numbers are off. And we'll pull up our software and we'll pull up the actual Facebook ads, and sometimes it'll say that this ad has 5 leads on Facebook, and then on the software it says that it actually has 105 leads, or the opposite. Facebook will say that it has 100 leads, and in reality it has 0 leads. I see it happen all the time. So for that reason, even though all the Facebook reps and everybody's going to tell you that Facebook's algorithm is so strong and powerful, I have no doubt about it. What I'd rather do is, until they fix this attribution problem, especially since iOS 14, I'm going to personally keep all of my ads totally separate, siloed in different campaigns, as you can see here, so that I give each of them the fairest shot of winning. Now, the only downside of this is that you will be spending more money. So for example, let's say you run all of your ad sets at $100 a day. Well, if we're running each of these at $100 a day, in the previous example, you see I have two different ad sets on this one for two different ads. But in the previous example, how most people set it up, I could save $100 a day by just having one ad set and two ads inside of there. But myself, personally, I know ads work. I know Facebook ads work. I've been profitable before, and I'm pretty aggressive when it comes to ads. So I don't mind separating and spending more money. So I'd rather spend $200 a day, figure out which one of these is actually the most profitable, cut the loser, and scale the winner. And a lot of times what'll happen is the one, even if you spend $100 more or $200 more to see which one out of these two is the winners, the truth is that one of those two, finding the winners, could be the difference in you being a 1.5 times return on investment and a 4 times return on investment, right? So even if you have to spend a few $100s more upfront, you might be able to find something that works and that has a 10x multiple based on what you were going to do previously. So whenever we're setting up Facebook ad campaigns for our own company or for our clients' companies, we break it down exactly like this. First, at the very top, there is the campaign itself, and that's the type of conversion event that we're choosing. Then inside that campaign is multiple different ad sets. Each ad set specifically has a different targeting that we're attempting to target to see if our ads will convert. Some of the ad sets will have audience overlap, meaning they will have the same targeting as another ad set, but at small spend like $100 or $50 a day in advertising spend, it's not going to make that much difference at the very beginning. And then inside each individual ad set are going to be different ads, solo one ad by themselves. So that way we can give each of these a fair shake and see which ones are going to be the most profitable. So let me walk through the example that I have here. On the ad campaign level, we have a direct messaging campaign. Then we have multiple different ad sets. One is going to be an interest-based targeting, which is using Facebook's algorithm of what they know people like, such as Zillow or Redfin or Gary Vee or whoever else is there. So we have that as one ad set, and we have the exact same ad set next to it. But underneath it, we have two different ads. One of them is me talking about, hey, we guarantee our results for our clients. If they don't see at least an X return on investment in 120 days of working with us, then we'll give them their money back. Or I do it over here and I say, hey, inside of our company Scaling with Systems, we build an entire client acquisition done for you. You don't have to lift a finger. We do it all for you, right? So those are two different ads hitting on two different pain points, both going to the same audience in separate ad sets. Then let's move over here and we have the exact same thing, right? So we have on this side, we have the email list lookalike. So we always recommend our clients running lookalike audiences. They're some of our most profitable ones. And if you don't know what a lookalike audience is, it's essentially you telling Facebook, find me 1 million people that are just like this. So you have the email list look like here, email list look like here. We're talking to the same people, but once again, you have a done for you ad and creative here and a guarantee creative here. And then finally on the right hand side, the last type of audience targeting that we really love our clients to run is going to be retargeting, especially if they already have a decent list, a decent following online. And this is when we're running ads to people who have gone to your Facebook page, gone to your Instagram, gone to your website, gone on your email list, interacted with your business in some way, essentially. And once again, we are running two separate ads with two different ad sets in here. Now, the only caveat about these two audiences here, retargeting, is that I'll typically run these at $10 a day, where the other ones I'll run at $50 to $100 a day and slowly start scaling it up. And the reason is because these audiences over here, these cold ones, they probably have millions of people inside of them, where these retargeting ones maybe have hundreds or thousands of people in there. So you'll run through them really quickly. And so I like to just have totally separate audiences for them. I like to have totally separate ads for them, and I like to keep the ad spend really low on them and just keep them on the background as a back burner. If you want to get access to this entire worksheet, click the link in the description down below.